Hey guys, I'm Sage Valentine and I'm back here. Happy as I don't know what. I have been waiting to review this since October. Oh man, I'm a huge 24 fan. I watched 24 Live Another Day, and there was even a little tiny movie at one point that had Jack Bauer, I think, in Africa for something. I think it was Africa. Anyway, when they announced that they were doing another 24, I was like, okay, I'm down for it. But I was like, how can they do this without Jack? And then when it was announced that they were looking for a person of color to play the lead, and I was like, cool. And then when they said that they were looking for a black person to play the lead, I was like, oh my gosh, how can they do this? Like, how is this going to go? But I'm still down for it. And then when Corey Hawkins was announced as being cast as the lead in 24 Legacy, I was super happy. So as you can see, I'm smiling. I'm here. I went to the panel at New York Comic Con. It was fantastic. They showed us the first, like, I think 20 to 24 minutes of the premiere episode, and I was hooked then. So right now, this is my review. I stayed up late after the Super Bowl to watch it with the rest of the fans, and it did not disappoint. So let's get down to it. This review is all about 24 Legacy, Season 1, Episode 1, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. So we meet Eric Carter, who's played awesomely by actor Corey Hawkins, who Walking Dead fans know as Heath. I love Heath. On a side note, we don't see enough of Heath, but let's get back to 24. So Eric Carter is an ex-Army Ranger. He has a wife named Nicole who is on birth control, despite the fact that Eric wants to start a family because apparently she and Eric are always on the run. Eric realizes something is amiss when an ex-comrade of his calls telling him about his apartment being ransacked, the comrade's apartment. Eric tries to call the other Rangers using this secret code thing, and when he gets no answer, he realizes something's up. So he sees these armed dudes outside of his door. He locks up his wife in the attic. It's all a part of their routine. And Nicole, his wife, watches from the attic while these men not only take Eric captive and punch him, but they also ransack their house. And they try to torture Eric, but Nicole jumps in. And when I saw it at Comic-Con, that scene, the whole room erupted into cheers when she decided to not only distract the dudes, but I think she threw a mirror out of the window, but also coming down, grabbing a gun, and shooting the crap out of these dudes. That is the best scene in the episode, in my opinion. Well, it was until I saw the full episode, because that final scene was fantastic. So, Eric contacts this lady, Rebecca Ingram, who is the girlfriend to Jimmy Smits, who seems like that he could possibly be running for president. I don't know Jimmy Smits' character's name yet, but by the second review, I will definitely know it. But anyway, Eric tells Rebecca what's up. And Eric's comrade, I believe his name is Ben Grimes, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, I'll get it right by the next review. Anyway, he warns his ex-wife to get out of town, but she ends up getting killed because apparently the bad guys were already in her house. Poor lady. We see a scene with teenagers where one teenager struck or pushed the other teenager. It was a guy pushing a girl, and when I saw that scene the first time, I'm like, why is this dude hitting her? Like, is he abusing her? Well, apparently that chick's name, the one that got assaulted, was Mary, and apparently she has plans to do some sort of terrorist type activity at the school. And this kid, the one that pushed her, tells the teacher that somebody has to intervene. Someone has to do something. So Rebecca tells Andy, who played Cyrus's husband on Scandal. It was so good to see Dan. I was so happy to see that actor. I was like, oh, after he got killed on Scandal, I'm like, ooh. Anyway, Rebecca tells Andy that she thinks that Keith, aka Zoom from The Flash, is the mole. And this mole sold out Eric's entire Army Ranger team and is the reason why most of them got killed and why Ben Grimes is on the run and why Eric and his wife, after basically killing everybody in the house together, they did it together, him and Nicole, why they're on the run as well. So Eric takes his wife Nicole to see his brother Isaac. That was another scene that I liked when I watched it the first time. And apparently Eric and Nicole left the hood, because that's basically where Isaac is, for a reason. And apparently Eric took Nicole from his brother Isaac in the past, and Isaac is still a little bit salty about that. But Isaac agrees to take Nicole in because of the situation, and clearly Eric can't trust the government, can't trust anybody, but the hood is the safest place for her. And some people would probably watch the episode and say, why would he take her to the hood? The hood is so dangerous. No, honey. The hood would be the safest place to take her because clearly Eric's brother is involved in drugs and he's got plenty of guns and armed people, enough people to watch Nicole. Nicole will be safe. So that technology in that other scene where they showed Andy and he was trying to find where Ben Grimes was, because that's another reason why Eric called Rebecca. And it zeroed in on that bus, and it was able to like put kind of pieces together, and you could see the number on the bus, and I was like, that was awesome. Just awesome. So Rebecca is supposed to be attending this fundraiser with Jimmy Smith's character, and she can't attend the fundraiser, and Jimmy Smith is upset, but he kind of understands, and his I guess she is his PA, is kind of trying to start something by saying, well, we have everything planned and she should be showing up. And I'm looking at it like, why are you all in the Kool-Aid? Like, stay out of it, lady. And she's trying to cause a fray in that relationship. I don't know if she wants to take Rebecca's place. Seems like it to me. So all of a sudden, the girl Mary, who was in the high school that got pushed by that other kid, and apparently the kid is named David, I think. Anyway, the girl is apparently working with the teacher who that other kid warned about what the girl was doing, if you get what I'm saying. And I'm looking at that scene, and when I saw it the first time, I was like, so the teacher's involved in this, so there's some sort of May-December romance. And then I was on Twitter, and somebody was like, do you think that girl is even a teenager? And I'm like, you know, there's a lot of people who look a whole lot younger than their ages. So I was like, what is going on with that scene? What is going on with that situation? Like, this episode is awesome. So back in the hood with Isaac and his crew, Nicole is upset because she had to come back to the hood. And I'm like, I completely understand. You don't want to be there since you escaped from there. You left there. And she knows that Eric misses combat because he seemed like he was in his element, shooting the guns and running around and stuff like that. So Tiffany Hines, an actress that I love, she played, if I remember correctly, Jaden on Nikita. She also was in A&E's Damien, which was like a short-lived series, but it was a really good series. I love that series, and I was so sad that the series got canceled. But on a side note, if you want to see her performance in that series, definitely check that show out. But anyway, back to the review. So Tiffany Hines' character, her name is Aisha. And Aisha is a little bit jealous that Isaac is giving Nicole attention. Obviously, because Nicole is his brother's girlfriend on top, or wife, on top of the fact that she was his ex-girlfriend. So clearly he must still have some feelings somewhere. Anyway, Edgar's niece. Edgar was a character from a previous season in 24. His niece is all in the Kool-Aid, as they say, and doesn't know what flavor it is. His niece is going above and beyond, basically telling on Rebecca, because I guess Rebecca used to be the head of CTU. Sound familiar? Jack Bauer. And she tapped into the system to help Eric, but she's doing it covertly with Andy. And this chick, whose name I didn't pick up yet, but I will know by tonight's episode, because I'm going to look up all the names. She tells on, or threatens to tell on, Rebecca, and she tells this to Andy. So Keith, aka Zoom from The Flash, catches wind and tells Rebecca that he's going to report her or something like that. Needless to say, Rebecca takes a taser and tases the crap out of this dude, and I'm like, she took a major page out of Jack Bauer's book, because that move was something that he did in the previous seasons. Because I remember in season 1, he had to kind of like knock people out and lock people away to get what he needed done. Because if you remember, in the beginning in season 1 of 24, Jack was kind of a neophyte. Jack was new as the leader of CTU, and he ended up having to do a lot of illegal things to keep the president safe. So I'm getting vibes of season 1, 24, and season 1 of 24 Legacy. But again, that season was awesome. So pretty much in the end, Carter and Grimes meet up, and Carter is trying to get Grimes to give him this, like, I forgot what they call it, but it looked like a tackle box, because Ben Khalid is after this thing, and that's why he killed all these people looking for this box. So Carter pulls it out of Grimes's book bag, and there's like all this like jewelry and gold watches and what looks like the currency from where they were stationed. I forgot what country that was. Anyways, he realizes that there's a trip bottom in the box and pulls it out, and there's some sort of file in that box. So all of a sudden it becomes a firefight between Carter and Grimes and Ben Khalid's people. And that scene was awesome. I think my favorite part of the scene had to be when Eric shot down that big metal cylinder thing and it started rolling, and then when Eric was fighting with that one dude and he took that piece of rebar and he stabbed the dude, and I was like, hey, this dude is badass already. He's giving me Jack Bauer vibes. I love him already. So when the dust clears, literally, because there was a lot of like dust or dirt or whatever in the air, because that thing was rolling and rolling and rolling. It was just rustling up dust and everything. Eric realizes that his friend Grimes is gone. So when Eric gets in contact with this fool tells him that not only does he have the file, which Eric realizes because it's no longer stuck in Eric's phone. And in case I didn't mention it, which I probably didn't in the review already, I think that list had a list of different places that Ben Khalid's people were planning on hitting or something like that. Like doing a terrorist attack or something like that. And that's why they were killing all of these Army Rangers and were after Grimes and his family and after Eric and his wife. Well, apparently Grimes took that file and ran off and told Eric that he is not giving up that file until the government pays up. And I'm sitting here laughing as a 24 fan, because you already know whenever a character gets like that in this series as a whole, 24 as a whole, you know that they are not going to last long. I'm just like, this Grimes dude is not going to last long at all. He will eventually get captured. I will bet he gets captured in the first 5 episodes because he's just foolish running around. I mean, he's smart in the fact that he has all of these, like, disposable phones and stuff, but he's not smart in thinking that the government is going to pay up to get this file, because as Eric realizes, Rebecca realizes, and Andy realizes, there's somebody in the government that is after that information as well and sold out Eric and his friends. And I do think that Zoom from The Flash, aka Keith, is a very shady character, but I don't think he's the only one. For some reason, I feel like Edgar's niece could be shady, but then again, Andy could be shady. With this series, you never know. Everybody's always shady, but thank you guys so much for watching this review. My voice is all jacked up. I'm going to leave a link to my 24 Live Another Day reviews for those of you that missed it, because I know a lot of people on social media were like, why is this series starting anew without Jack? I'm like, did you guys see 24 Live Another Day? Like, they kind of closed out his story a bit with the president, played by Cherry Jones, and she kind of let him, you know, run. And the last thing we saw was the satellite zeroing in on him for the last time before going dark. Yeah, so I'm going to link those 24 Live Another Day reviews. Those were hilarious. Hilarious. But anyway, it was hilarious for the fact that, like, I had such trouble saying one of the actors' names, and I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, it's not that hard, man. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this review, and I will be back to review episode 2, which will be 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So I love you all. Bye, guys. Bye.